Yo, what it do? It's your boy Young Weezo. Welcome back to KFKulture's YouTube channel. And this is KFKulture The Podcast. The podcast that focuses on giving Cape Town artists exposure. Not any artists, actual artists. And we have an actual artist here today. Also, one thing to remind that you can find the audio episodes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Episode 28. We in here. And another thing, remember to subscribe, hit the like bell, drop a comment what you thought of today's episode, and we would like to feature. And then I'll probably listen to it. If it's not fire, no. If it's fire, yeah. Okay. Intro. He's a rapper, songwriter, producer, top finalist in many competitions. We're gonna get into that. Opened for Nasty C. He's got bars, fire, and he's straight out of KF. Ayanda King.
Straight up.
Straight up.
In the flesh.
Damn, that sounds like.
All we need is just that horns. That was a beautiful intro. If
Oh,
I
wait,
may say
shut,
so
shut.
myself, bro.
I was gonna be like top this, top that, top finalist, top
Yeah.
finalist. And I was like, okay, now maybe too long. I'm gonna let you do everything.
It's quite a lot, of top levels. So
Ah.
I'm glad that you were like, we'll get into that.
Oh wait, short man. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you so much.
It's been a journey for you.
Straight up.
So, wait. Firstly, let's answer that. How was your week?
The week was blessed. The week was blessed. Like always spending time with family, the kids, the lady, my brother, my family. I can never complain when I'm around them.
Okay.
And I feel like this week I got a lot of time to like be like at home physically, so I got to soak in the vibes. And I was telling the driver on the way here, it doesn't feel like weekend yet, so hopefully it will pick up. But the week has been blessed, bro. Like I'm still here, I'm still alive, still kicking.
Oh wait.
You know.
I'm glad you said lady, not ladies.
Hey man, we don't play like that.
Because like rappers always say like, yo, I got ladies, I got bitches. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And I don't want to say it's acceptable because of the culture in terms of hip hop, but it's predictable. Like I expected that. He has a lot of girls. He's a player, but nah, I keeps it strictly one woman type of guy. One at a time. And not to say we don't have a past. We all come from being childish growing up, but for now, super settled, man.
Okay, nah, that's good. So Ayanda King.
Straight up.
Straight up. How did it all start? Go back. Go. Name. How that came about. Oh yeah. How do you pronounce your surname?
Sisusa. Susa.
Susa.
Si Susa.
Susa. Sauce. Oh, no wonder you got the sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Is that like government name?
Yeah, that's full on government ID and everything, fam.
Okay, cool. So, how did it all start? Name, history,
Well,
music.
it started off with obviously my mom and my dad linking up, and then Ayanda came about 14th of October, 93. We stayed in Langa, beautiful place, man, rich in history. I remember everything, from going to go play Ekugaste at the like a city hall that we have type of thing. Also going to the Love Life centers. I was I was very playful. I was outside a lot. I loved karate as well.
Oh,
like
snap.
right opposite my house, we had like a park. So I was every day on the park. If it's not soccer, it's cricket. If it's not cricket, it's karate. And the older I grew, I was always, well, let me say, I come from a home that is like, they love music, my mom and my dad. And I think that's where it kind of started for me, but subconsciously, without me being aware that, hey man, this is actually something later in my life I'm going to be attracted to. So it was always Brenda Fussy, in the house, playing. And like I said, I remember I see my mom and my dad dancing, and those type of memories are what always like I associate music with. Like, hey man, when you hear something good, a good song, you can literally become like a core memory for you, you know. When you hear it a few years later, you're like, I know exactly where I heard this song and how it made me feel. That nostalgic feeling it comes with it. So I always loved music, bro. Just from being
Sorry,
exposed
sorry.
to it.
How do you know if it's a good song?
How do I know if it's a good song?
Okay, obviously whatever you say is like you personally.
Yeah.
Because other people have like no this and this.
I would say, firstly, identifying with the sound of the beat. You know, like if you play me something and I can hear your vocals and your subject matter doesn't go with the beat itself, that's already a miss, you know. And then, like I said, content, what you singing about, what you're rapping about, that's also something that I value a lot because I'm listening to you, I'm taking it in, so it has to be something. So I feel like it starts off with the production, you know, because that's the first thing you hear before you even hear the vocals is the beat. So if the beat is catchy, and you don't need a lot of seconds in that, you just need a few seconds to hear, okay, I like this sound, and then you explore the song, you listen to the song. So for me, I would say the beat. If I hear the beat is catchy, like, hey man, turn it up a little bit, and then let's hear what homie or the lady has to say or bring into the record. And if those two gel together, you have it. You know, I believe that's what makes a good song. The feeling that's also associated with listening to it, what you took away from it. If it doesn't evoke something, then nah, it's not really a banger, as they say. But coming back to where it all started, the music for me, the bug bit me when I was driving with my dad and his best friend, and we were in his best friend's car, and he was playing "Get Rich or Die Trying."
Oh snap!
50 Cent, and I couldn't understand. My dad is like a gospel guy, so when I heard that, I was like, damn. So they also move like this when they together. I'm sitting in the back seat, and my dad's best friends, he's got his nephews there as well. So we all chilling, and that is where I first heard like, okay, this is that rapping type of steez. And then me and my dad would drive on our own, and he played a lot of Biggie as well, Ready to Die. So the exposure was there. But I grew up in a house that was mostly like gospel, like we really messed with gospel, my grandmother and everybody. And I used to like sing a lot in terms of gospel songs at home. And then my voice broke. And then I couldn't like, hit those notes and stuff like that. But I always loved music. And then what's also so happened was like, when you grow up, Weezo, you have questions, that you can't particularly ask your mom or your dad because they are strict in terms of go to school, pass. That's all we expect from you. So you might have a crush on somebody, you don't know how to um, you know describe this feeling, you don't and you want to talk to somebody, but your parents are a no-go. So that's where the pen and the pad came in. I started penning down my thoughts, everything, how I felt or what I was feeling at the time. It was more on a poetic steez as well, because the rhyme scheme and all of that. And then, like I said, when I started hanging out with friends, and they were also like, rapping and stuff like that, I started like, okay, I can do this. I think I can do this, and I already have like journal entries and stuff like that. So that is where the bug started for me. It's mostly trying to like make sense of everything that's going on in my life at the time, and not having necessarily the answers, and I never had like a big brother around type of stuff, so I was always on my own. So writing was very therapeutic for me. It started off like that, where I was just like, I'm healing myself, if I can put it like that. And then obviously you started getting to expose like you can actually put these words on a beat, and you can rap it, and then you start having different type of flows. And that's where I got into like the whole music sphere now, fully entrenched, and okay, I actually enjoy this, I actually mess with this. So I'll say at 12 years old, is where it all started from me. And the name wasn't Ayanda King back then. You start off with a Yankee. Yeah, the youngest veteran. That was my first mixtape that I released. So that was also like a nickname that I have for myself. So yeah, 12 years old is where I'd say it all started for me. In my mama's room, trying to figure out things, trying to like make sense of things, writing about it always helped. And then I later turned it into like rap songs.
And you started recording when?
I started recording, I think I was like 16 or 17. Yeah, let's be realistic. 15 or 16 or 17, I beg your pardon. Because I remember I was still in high school at the time, Monument Park. And a friend of mine, Quincy, I found out that his brother has like studio equipment at home. And that blew my mind. I was like, man, I need to go to this homie's brother's house. And I always would ask him at school, hey man, like, when can you connect me? yeah, he's busy with the project right now, so when he's done, I'm gonna connect you. And I was like, okay, I can respect, the whole craft of making music and so forth. So I backed off for a while. But every time I saw this homie at school, it always bugged me like, hey man, I'm finna go record. I have all these songs and I have all these pads of bars and I'm gonna get this out. And then I told him, hey, after school, I'm gonna link up with you by the gate. And he probably thought I was joking. I met up with him by the gate and I was like, man, screw that. I'm going home with you. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I need to speak to him, bro. And then if he says he's busy, it's fine, but he'll tell me when to come back or whatever. So we walked, and I could see homie was looking at me like, man, you crazy, forcing your way in and stuff like that. Got to the crib, went to the room. It's also like a studio type of thing. And then our homies were like, well, Diablo was sitting there in front of the PC. And then Quincy came in and he was like, hey, it's the guy I was telling you about, da 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 da. And then the homie said, yo, so what can I do for you? And I was like, I want to rap, bro. And he was like, so rap. And then I was like, I drop a beat. And then he dropped the beat and I rapped. And then he was like, take this beat, right? Come back come back the following day. And I went home, got dressed, and I went back a few hours later. And he was like, yo, what's up? And I was like, I'm ready. I got the bars, I don't have to go still write it. And then after writing it, I went back after getting back home, I beg your pardon, sorting myself off, changing out of school clothes, I went back to the crib. And then he recorded me, and his younger brother, Lock D, was also a rapper. And he was really, he's really dope. And Diablo for me was like a genius when it comes to beats. He's really good and he has melodies for days. So it started off with one song and then they heard the content, the bars, and they were like, for a kid that's so young, you're saying crazy shit. And I was like, yeah, that's just how it is, trying to stand out, trying to be that guy in terms of rapping. So you say crazy things on tracks just for that shock value. And then they were like, we can work with you. Can groom you type of thing. But they never formally sat me down and be like, this we taking you under our wing. But they always kept me there and I really, really respected that. So my first song was like by Diablo's House. Shout out to Quincy as well for being stubborn but letting me get there. And then from one song it turned into a mixtape. I think it was like probably 12 songs. The youngest veteran mixtape. Obviously I don't have any copies of it now, unfortunately, and that's what breaks my heart about moving. If you're going back in the days, you're trying to make music so fast, you don't really have that thing, save it, so that it can age well when you go back. I don't have most of my songs that I did in the past. I don't have. I know them guys probably have it that I used to work with, but personally for me, and that's what also hurts me because that's how you measure your growth and you appreciate what you have. But it went from one song to 12 records.
That's actually the thing is, like, even if you like back up the songs, is there chance where the PC crashes?
Definitely, bro. Or it gets like a crazy. I remember we had one where there was like a virus on the external, and Locke was like going from pillar to post trying to recover, and just I don't want to lose anything, and we had to eventually thingy flush it. And that's what really, like, years and years of material that's gone down the drain. My stuff has also been there, and it's not years of material for me. It's just like maybe stuff that we did together now in a short space of time. So I know the feeling of losing music, and you're like, oh, I don't think I can get back into that bag, like that song that was on there. I tapped into a certain emotion, but yeah, man.
I feel like it probably happened for a reason. As they say, everything happens for a reason.
Definitely.
So even if that's gone, you maybe think like, if I did keep that, it would have actually sounded whack or da-da-da.
The guys at 13, that was their label that they ran as 13 Entertainment, Diablo and them. They really groomed me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. They really groomed me when it comes back to the music because it was just like a gang load of guys in the studio. And when the beat drops, one goes to that corner, the other one goes to this corner, and we're just writing. See who comes up with the hardest verse. And I would always get that slack of, man, you decide to rap off the Lock, are you crazy? Lock is a da-da-da. And I would go back to the drawing board at home so angry, like, man, how? And then revising, scratching out. You pissed off like that. This is not hard enough. Like, look, I need these flows. I need all of that. So the beginning journey for me, bro, was the most beautiful journey, because on your way to wherever you're headed to, all you have is memories, right? That you make and create. And I store them in a very, very, very special place, because without them, I wouldn't be sitting here, because everything happens for a reason. Like you said, we might not be together now, like we used to be, but I can never ever take away from the lessons and the teachings, and just like grooming me, man. Grooming the moments. Well said. The moments.
Talk to me about Filthy Entertainment. What was your connection to them?
Oh man, that was a crazy time. Filthy happened at the time where I was with 13, right? And then Daz was like Filthy Entertainment. But now, when we were 13, there was never a time where we thought we would be, I won't say merging, but we'd be moving with another label type of thing. We were good on our own, bro. But when Flex came into our lives, he came in with that thing of he loves music, and if you love music, we're gonna make music together. You know what I mean? Came into my life, came into our lives, and it was beautiful at the beginning. It was really beautiful. What I mean by that is it was just purely on music. Like you could see, like, okay, this kid loves making music. All he does is just make music. If he's not working, he's making music. And for my side as well, hearing that he's been in the game for so long, and the recognition, sometimes I feel like, yo, you're supposed to be at the tier of a national artist, and now you're like looking at an OG type of thing, like legend in the game. And the fact that you're not getting that recognition and those flowers, yeah, it could be from the fact that you're also not doing a lot, you're not pushing hard enough. But at the same time, in your community, they respect you so much, they love you, they see what you're doing. I always had this thing of, I wish the rest of Cape Town specifically could just see like this guy's passion for love, and like that he has for music, and I always stuck with him based on that. Like, man, I can learn a lot, because he's run these laps that I'm gonna be running, and then started I think it's the iMic, like my open mic sessions that we had over at Wallerstein. So every Friday we'd be going there to go like rock the mic, and that's how I also got people to see, okay, this is Ayanda, this is what he does, and then 13 fell apart due to the fact that me and Locke had an argument, right? And then I told him, like, it's cool. I'm gonna do my own thing.
Was it creative differences?
No, it wasn't creative differences.
Okay.
That's the saddest thing about it, because when you separate with someone and you feel like it wasn't me and you, bro. It wasn't necessarily us that had beef with each other. It's more of an external party. And when women get into the picture of things, it can become really, jaded, if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
So out of respect, we parted ways, but it was never a thing of like, I hate you, you hate me. We just didn't vibe after that. And I respect the fact that, I think it's also got to do with like the love that we have for each other. Like, no homo. I don't see myself bashing him. He doesn't see himself bashing me. So we just amicably go our separate ways.
I feel like a female also shouldn't like change the vibe also. Since you're saying now female, like, go away.
And you're absolutely right. Like, I blame myself for not being man enough to sit him down and be like, hey, I understand maybe you were protecting your lady at the time and this and that, the third, but you must also know that we are brothers, and what happened, I don't like it. I blame myself. I hold myself accountable on that degree. But I also know being stubborn and also having like, pride can sometimes work, against you and not in your favor.
Yeah.
So that's where it fell off with 13. And when it fell off with 13, I was basically on my own. And then Daz was there, and I was like, hey, man, let's make music. We were always making music. And then Daz was like, why don't you become part of Filthy? I see you as a Filthy Entertainment member. You really ripping, the scene, the block, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, all right, let's do it. But I'm not going to be an artist only. I want to own something, part of this, because I always wanted to be part of something, bro. When you grow up, they say you need to get signed. You have a label that you're representing. So I come from that culture where it's like, put me somewhere, and then let me do the rest in terms of representing the flag or whatever you want to call it. So he did that, and he was like, I'm gonna put you on as the director as well, and with me, and then we do this, and then it worked. We like went out, did shows, it was beautiful. We did a lot of shows, as a matter of fact.
Moving on from that,
Yeah.
what's your process when making music?
So before the Filthy Entertainment days, we used to, like I said, be in the studio, write, bang the beat, go into your separate corner and just do your thing. And I used to love writing, I still do. But, after everything, post Nasty C show, we had to be on the road a lot. My brother and I. If you're not hustling, you're not eating. So I didn't have time to be in the studio, like I used to. And when I am in the studio when I was, I beg your pardon, in the studio by Pain, the food had to be there. The petrol had to be in the car. You know what I mean? Everything had to be straight, because I don't want a situation where we in the studio come out late and then you still need to think of what you're going to eat. There's no power at home. And these are all just like the plights that we face as, artists on the come up. You can choose to go for a 9 to 5, but then some of them feel like they're selling out and all that nonsense. But then how are you going to eat is my question. So we were always out and about in the streets. Shout out to everybody, and I mean everybody who played a very integral role in keeping us alive, with here's the money here, here's the food here. To such a degree, you even know your pattern. Like on Sundays, I'm going to my other homie's house because I know they got that Sunday play going on. Things like that, bro. Like the struggle will really, 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 really humble you.
Wait, so
and the process. Not done.
Because I wanted to say like, because when I'm in the zone, I don't even eat. I forget about that.
When you like,
when you're in the zone, like just forget everything. I don't even eat, bathroom, nothing. Like that.
It's what I was saying earlier on. It's the perfectionist in you. You want to make sure that it's done to the T. So after everything happened, I started writing on the spot. Like if I have an idea popping up, okay, I note it down just so that I don't forget it. And I always start off with the opening bar. I always try to focus on the opening lines. Once I know the opening lines, I can build around that.
Then you focus like on the chorus.
Exactly.
Okay.
For me, the hardest is always the opening line, because I always have the thing of, if it's not, catchy, if it's not impactful, if you don't get me, the pitch, the way you're saying it, if it doesn't get me, you're gonna lose me. So opening lines for the sake of writing, it's always like a bit challenging for me. But once I have the opening line, the piecing together, it's very, very much easy. And like now, if me and you were to be here and we're chopping it up, I don't sit and write. I got something, let's punch it in. And then I go back and then we listen to the beat again. I think I have something, Weezo, let's punch it in. But then you get times where I'll be at home and I'm listening to a beat and listen to it for so long that I have the ideas, I know how I want it to, and then I just take my phone, hit the record, and then, go for it. And then when I have the verses, I try and memorize them, so that when I'm in the studio, you'll never see me with a pen and pad in the studio. I used to do this back in the days where we were like, and I just found it like my brain is working overtime. I'm trying to read, and I'm also trying to not knock the mic, and I'm also like, it was becoming too much for me personally. Like I felt like I was overthinking it. And that's when I was like, no, write it down if you write it down. Memorize it if you memorize it, since you're not writing it down. But just make sure you have something. That's why I say the opening line always helps me not to forget the flow and the content in which. Because if I'm just going to do it off the head, by the time I get out of this house, I'll hear another song in the car, and then I forgot about the pitch, the melody, the flow, all of that. But just to cut a long story short, I don't write. I don't write. The only time I'll write is if I know, okay, I've got the time. Like, I've really got the time. And touching on this new project, I had more than enough time.
Oh, yeah, don't go into that. so wanna go in there. Wait, okay, so your process, you first start obviously within. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, me again, sorry to make this about me now.
No.
I would listen to the beat.
Okay.
I would always have the chorus first. First. verse would be I'll basically just record the flow
Okay.
in a kind of gibberish kind of words, some
Mumbles,
gibberish.
mumbled up. Yeah, I feel you.
Record that whole thing, and then whenever go home, and then just like fill in the puzzle pieces.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
That's how I would.
You see,
I would
it's
do
not. It's not. The styles is not that far off. You know, each person has their own, form of way of working. Sorry, but if I listen to what you're saying, it's not that far off because you recording so that you can keep the flow that's coming to your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you get home, like you said, you're piecing it together now, and that's where the beauty happens. Putting it all together. Like with me, opening line. Okay, I know exactly how it must start. That's cool. I'm not gonna forget that flow. And then when it's time to piece the words, the verse, the actual body now together, it becomes a walk in the park for me.
Wait. How many projects do you have though?
Dude,
Because
I'm gonna be real with you. I started off with the youngest veteran mixtape, and then I was part of a compilation 13 mixtape that we did with Gents, and then there was Cape Town's very own part 1 that I did with Karen Desai. And
because I saved that. Yeah, I saved that.
yeah,
So I was thinking, okay, cool, this.
yes, that's it right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's it right there. V2 was the last, no, not the last one. Ape Town was the
Ape
last
Town was
one.
the last
Yes,
one, yeah.
and then we here now dealing with Before Winter, which I'm really really excited on that one. Super, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. You just run through those projects,
Okay,
right?
so
And then you get to Ape Town.
no problem. The first one was the youngest veteran that I did when I was moving with the 13 Entertainment guys. Beautiful body of work because it was my first body of work. And then the second one was the 13 compilation mixtape that we made together as 13 the crew. That was the second one, right? Yeah. The third one is the Cape Town's very own mixtape part 1.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one is part 2. The fifth one is part 3. And then thereafter that I did Ape Town.
Wait, is there a part 3?
Yeah, there is a part 3. All of this, funny enough, I don't know if you know Garen Desai.
Karen Desai.
Karen Desai.
I'm bad with names, good with faces.
Makes 2 of us, bro. So I put that together with him because he had like a recording set up at his crib at the time. And then we were just like more of the steez of harnessing, It wasn't a limit. If you check on SoundCloud, you'll find it under Garen Desai, all the projects that we did there, But it was never a thing of we're trying to be famous or get signed of this. We were just trying to like literally let's harness the skill, let's harness the sound, let's try to find ourselves within this music thing. Like you need to know who you are, what makes you tick in terms of your style, if I can put it like that. So it was more practice than anything, and I really really enjoy love, and I cherish those moments because man, that's where the confidence came from. Going back and forth, doing the same thing, making mixtape after mixtape after mixtape. It teaches you how to put a body of work together. It teaches you, the discipline of I have to be in album mode. I have to be in project mode, not just now and then you come back 3 months later again to it. So that's the one thing I can say is one of my strengths, in the game is that most people will give out singles. I know I take my time with it, so that I can give you something that you can sit down. You can, whether you don't like it or like it, you're not gonna critique me on one song that maybe you don't like. There will be songs there, and then if you're critiquing me, and then I was like, I'm hoping it's a sound decision, because you listen to everything. If you didn't listen to everything, then I think it's unfair.
So how youngest veteran that Cape Town's very own, is that like you listen to Drake a lot then? That sounds, because I know he says October's very own.
It's funny, you crazy. Yeah. I would say it's a play on that.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say like it came directly from OVO because I'm also born in October, right?
Okay.
So I could also be like, yo, it's October's very own. But I like but you're right. It's a play from OVO.
Oh wait, because
Cape Town's
I've
very own.
never heard anyone say that.
Ever.
No, only Drake said that. I've never heard like anyone in Cape Town or anyone in general say.
Mm.
Then I was like, okay, it does man, listen to.
And bro, I started that when I was like in high school. CTV, oh, it's Cape Town's very young, and it stuck with me and grew with me to such a point where maybe when I start a song, sorry, I'll be like, it's Cape Town's very young, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this nigga.
So how does the wait, we didn't get into Ape Town.
Ape Town came at a time 2020. So why Ape Town specifically? I took away the C from Cape Town and then I made it Ape Town, you know. And to go further in depth with that, I watched the movie. I think it's Planet of the Apes.
I was gonna say now.
That's where the inspiration came from. Then there's this line where I don't know if I think it's the ape where it says ape don't kill ape. You know, something along those lines. And it really stuck with me because that time in 2020 it was like that xenophobic vibes as well. Prior to that, I think it was really like bad in Joburg side. And then I won't lie to you, bro, like I can understand people's frustrations and whatever, but I don't believe, I firmly stand on like you don't take it upon yourself to kill someone or hurt someone because you might feel like they're not from this country or you know, like I said, I understand your frustrations, but at the same time it's not our job to kill, you know. That's leave that to God. That's reserved for God, you know what I mean? So that it came from that where I saw like this division amongst, you know, Africans specifically speaking. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, you know. Ape Town, we all gotta love each other. Firstly, we all gotta accept each other, irrespective of the background, you know, the culture. We all one people, and I believe we pray to the same God. You know what I mean? So it came from that. That is where the essence, in terms of, okay, I'm gonna make a project called Ape Town, and if somebody were to ask me what's the theme around it, I'll say we're trying to bridge this gap between maybe a Zimbabwean person and a Xhosa person who are just not connecting. So now we know music, it's a powerful tool. So if you like a song from Ape Town, Robert Mugabe, for example, and she likes Robert Mugabe, you a South African saying you like a Zimbabwean president, you know, in terms of the song's name. So can we not coexist peacefully and in harmony? That was Ape Town. And then obviously now we had to make the songs. I reached out to one of my close friends, Sammy Wonder. He's based in the States. He's very good with the mellow side of things, you know. So that's when I was like, I'm gonna need you to help me curate it, you know, so that the sound is it's not trappy like all the other projects. Now we're trying to tone it down a bit, and he took care of it, bro. Inyembezi, he produced that. It's a very very emotional song, and I respect him for that because it really helped carry the project as well. I don't know if you know of Lal OG, Lal February. He's a producer as well.
Yeah, I saw him when I was searching.
Yeah.
Not stalking, searching.
You know, so he's really also like a key anchor, you know, in our lives, in a sense of when I'm done recording, I would generally send it to Lal. Lal would do the mixing and the mastering and all of that, you know. And he was also learning, so it was a beautiful thing where it's like we're feeding off each other's energy, we're trading off, you know. And then Lal was involved. Got Wizzy Beats, who produced Couldn't for Aries. I got him to do Stachi's mixing and mastering, and I can't remember the other song that he did, but I know it was Stachi and Bougie, I think. Yeah, Stachi and Bougie. He did the mixing and mastering for those songs. I worked with Sean as well, from Lavo Studios. It was based in North Pine at the time, but he's in Kraaifontein now. So the entire recording was done there. 80% of the songs. Garen was also part of the project in terms of I recorded by his house as well when I was in the area. So it was a beautiful project because I had all my friends working there on with me. The other ones, it was like me and my brother Elias. Elias is going to be on every project, you know, in terms of executively producing it. Okay, this sticks. This is not the right sound. Let's do it like this. Here's the budget that we have for this. So no one say I can't count him, but you'll always be included. The guy in the pics.
Yeah,
like you said. So it was I loved that project because I got a chance to be a bit vulnerable speak about past relationships, issues that I had with my dad in the past, expectations that I have as a father for myself. And it hurt me to a certain degree that they didn't receive it. The people didn't receive it the way that I would have wanted them to. But I also understand maybe it's got to do with, this is not what we know you for. Where are the hard songs, where are the trap anthems? Now it's like you're a little bit vulnerable, and I really mess with that project, bro. To such a point, I said to E as well, let's take it off, the streaming platforms. It's I got that from Kanye, where it's like, I want the old Kanye. No, chop up the soul, Kanye. Do this, do that, and then how about I just do nothing? How about I just sit back and show me who's doing it the way that you guys would want me to do it, you know? And that's where the gap came in. After dropping Ape Town, we went, sports scenes, but we'll get into
Oh
that.
yeah, wait.
But Ape Town for me was the most personal project that I've worked on, and also collaborating. I worked with a lot of people there, and it's all people that I really really love. Like they're my brothers, like that.
Um, wait. Uh, wait. And then you went to Joburg.
Correct. Whew. Damn, man. Josie was crazy.
Okay, experience. Why did you go there? Though, yeah.
To be truthful, like blatantly truthful, we lost our accommodation here in Cape Town. The house got sold that we were living in. And then my brother and I, we were living by Mcebisi's house, another guy. He gave us a room. Very, very cool, man. Very, very cool, man. And we probably told him we're gonna be there max a month, And then the month came, and then obviously we can reevaluate the things, but it's time to go. You don't want to overstay your welcome. Even if you were to say no, it's okay, you guys can stay. We knew we needed to go, but now the thing is, where do you go? Because the house is sold, and we were just like driving around in the car, and then my brother came up like, look, we need to go to Joburg. And at the time there was a homie of ours that side, Nash. He was calling every day, like, when are you guys coming through? Y'all say they're coming through. When you guys coming through? And then we decided, look, we're not gonna be homeless in Cape Town. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows that it's not, you'll stand out. So let's rather go to a place where no one knows, and we do this from scratch. We rebuild ourselves, and we went, bro. And funny enough, my portion, came from Dreams of Plenty sales, because we made the project and we sold it for 50 rand. Made quite some money, bro, because we were not hungry in December. I remember that for a fact. The entire December we were not hungry. We were just moving this product. I was like, damn, got enough money. Sold the car, the Golf that we had, Velocity, and then we went to Joburg. And we got to Joburg. First thing we get to, it's this flats that we stay in. And then the gentlemen downstairs are like, yo, y'all gotta pay a fee to go up. And then we thought it's a once-off fee, But actual fact, every month you need to put like 1,000, minimum at least, just so that me and my brother could be there. Now, where the hell are we gonna get this money? We also have this budget from selling the car, And then the only thing that could have helped was Nash talking to the guys, like they with me. But I'm guessing he was also afraid to mess up anything that had to do with these
No, that's cool.
anything that had to do with his accommodation. So he didn't want to mess that up. And then I'm also not going to put pressure on you, because I understand the situation. But we never got to hustle, bro, the way we were supposed to hustle in Joburg. And that's the one thing that frustrates me the most, in terms of my first trip there. It bugged me. It bugged me so much, because we were cooked up in this room. And then when you go downstairs, there's different security guards with different shifts. And each of them has to be paid. Now imagine 1,000 for 3 teams. That's 3,000. Where do we get that money? So now you cooked up in the house. You don't want to go downstairs, because if you go out, they might not let you back in. So the hustling was bad, bro. I've never been in such a position in my life as well, where you feel so confined, in a small space. And the only time we would go out is if the security guards that we were cool with were there. But if they're not present, or they're working a late shift, you only go out late night. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do outside with no money in Joburg? But we managed to forge relationships, with people, such as Blanca. We went to his house. Shout out to Blanca. Made music and stuff like that. And even in the building as well that we were living in, there was some trappers that stayed downstairs. We made relationships with them. It wasn't all bad, right? But what made it for me the worst experience was the fact that I was not given a chance to get on the field and play. Imagine going to the biggest stage, hypothetically speaking, of your life, and then when you get there, you're told you have to watch it from the front row seat or the middle, and you're like, but I'm supposed to be on the stage, not watching it.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. I watched everyone around me hustle. Jay Molly was downstairs. Man, everybody would come and do like hustling. We stayed in Braamfontein, so it's like the hub for the city life in terms of kids now and students. Sorry. So you'd see these guys there, bro, but you can't even reach out and speak because you don't have any music, you don't have product, And we came here to record, we came here to push. Even this Dreams of Plenty sound that we are pushing, we can't push it because we're confined up in a room. Made the decision like, let's go back home, right? Let's go back home and regroup everything. Went back home, regrouped, and then my brother E said he's gonna look for a job because now it's pointless that there's no money coming in. How long are we gonna keep doing this? So we need to be realistic. Found a job, thank God, and then things started becoming a bit more easier. Now I can focus in the studio. Now I can focus on the writing. Now I actually have time and a bit of flexibility, if I can put it like that. I can stretch myself now. I'm not feeling stiff and stuff like that. So Josie, to sum it up in a nutshell, bro, it was a bittersweet experience because you're seeing all these opportunities, you're seeing all these people. I even took part in the one mic show, the SABC one mic show. I made it through the auditions, and then I had to come through for the recording of the actual content.
Yes.
And then that time I was already on my way to Cape Town. Already in Cape Town probably when the Rashid and them sent you messages saying, hey, pull up and shit like that. I took part. I did try. I can safely say, man, we really tried to occupy spaces with the little bit of time and resources that we had. And then you must also know, like, food, you need to buy food, it becomes really challenging. So for anyone who would want to explore the Johannesburg tip, just make sure that your money is straight, and whoever you are dealing with that side, make sure that they are solid. What I mean by solid is they will have your back, irrespective of what happens. When it happens, they're gonna really, really have your back, because that place is cutthroat. It's a cutthroat city for me, and it's very fast paced. So if you a person that likes to take things easy and slow down, you might just lose out on a lot of things. So I'm definitely I feel more friendly. I feel more listen to me friendly. I feel more happy. I feel more happy now when I travel back to Joburg, because like me and my brother, we know, hey, last time we were here, it was really painful. But now it's like it's completely different ball game now, Yeah.
Wait, and then you came back, and then it was what? Popping bottles.
Pop bottles, Cape Town. Oh, that was crazy, because normally with pop bottles you have to submit your videos, and then you have to go like on a voting thing where people vote for you to get on stage. When we got here in Cape Town, it was probably like a month. Yeah, no, we got here in November, 2 months, because in Jan they called my brother E and they were like, hey, we want him on. And then he was like, okay, so what must we do? Must we like vote and stuff like that? And he was like, nah. There's no voting. We just want you. We saw your video that you submitted. We need him on. And that was a beautiful thing to come back home. And it also gave me that thing of like, maybe I need to be here at home, because you can go out there chasing these things, but if you actually move smart enough, you can attract them to come to you as well, or you can meet each other halfway, So that is when our pop bottles came. They gave us 10 complimentary tickets. Imagine the feeling of not having anything and you're telling your friends and your loved ones, here, come through to the show. It felt like you're bossing up to a certain degree. And I did the show. Rest in peace, DJ Dimples, man. May soul really, really rest in peace. He's the one that like gave us the opportunity to get on. With every performance, bro, I always give my all. So that was also like one of my highlights coming back from Johannesburg. and it also like stamped the notion of this is home, this is really, really home, because look at the love that you got just from not even a month, you were here, and they're calling you back. So yeah, like Pop Bottles, when I got back, was really, really dope. It was really, really sweet, a nice experience, and I hope that they can keep, the the overall organization in terms of Pop Bottles going, because it's a pretty, pretty beautiful concept.
Was there one like last year, and is there gonna be this year?
I'm not sure, but I think there was last year. I think they had something, but it was not in K Town though.
Oh, okay.
But I know they definitely still pushing, man. It would be a great injustice to let such a brand just go to waste, if I can put it like that, because
Yeah.
Pop Bottles is quite big. It's quite big.
And then your experience there with Sportscene Put Me On,
Ooh.
and then also ran through the Stimarol Flow Lab also.
Yeah, so the Stimarol Flow Lab, basically it's you get invited to come through for a workshop session. Um, what I did, my experience when I got there, you have to bring like a track of yours that you want to present to the listeners and the crowd and so forth. And we brought Brick Wall, a single that I released, and I played it, and they vibed with it. The lady, I think her name is Sasha, she works for Stimroll as well, and she was like, hey, give me your IG handle. Gave her my IG handle. She invited me. So the workshop, in a nutshell, just basically you get like industry, advice and tips from, I want to say, leading national celebrities, but celebrities that are somewhat, in a very good standing in terms of their music and financially and socially. Like, it's a good person to have there to talk to you and give you game. You know what I mean? So it's a very good thing, man, to check out. And how one enters, you basically buy like a Stimroll chappies, and then the QR, I mean the code and stuff like that, that's on the slip. You just get in touch with the Stimroll thingy website. I think it's a website, and then you basically just key in your barcode, if I'm because my brother did all of that. I just got told we need to go. And I asked him how, and he was like, he bought two gums, and in the slip that you get, you basically connect the dots using that. So I would really, really advise and also like implore a lot of young artists to check that out.
Educational purposes.
It's very educational purposes. And then they also do like a collaborative project where, if we liked your song and we liked Ayanda's song, send your songs through. We're gonna make it into a project and put it out there on DSPs and so forth. So that was actually really, really a nice experience for me, man. The Stimroll, it's so intimate. You learn a lot as well, things that you wouldn't necessarily hear from people talking about on interviews. So I would really like encourage people, especially the youngsters on the come up, just to go check that out. Take the time out. You never know what you might find. And then also a great networking tool, because you get to see a lot of people, artists, that is. It's a wide pool. And then to coming back to the sports scene, that one was my brother again. I don't particularly like sit there and look for these things. He's the one that would be like, yo, bro, are you keen on doing this? Are you interested? And our belief is, if you say you're a rapper, you rap, and there's a competition that says rap, why wouldn't you? And that's the problem I have with artists from Kraaifontein. Just to deviate a little, they will say that they are rappers, but when it's time to rap and there's a competition provided for you to rap, you look down on the competition. I don't know for what reason. Maybe you think you're better, or your craft is not a competition type of setting. You're dealing with big things. You don't need to be be doing competitions. I take full offense in that, because that's how you get your name out there. That's how you get your community out there. And most importantly, you never know what might just happen, because 90% of the shows that I've entered, bro, I've won, with the exception, like, obviously now, of sports scene and stuff like that. But even that is not a loss. That's the biggest W of my life. I never thought that people would vote, because I keep to myself, bro. I'm at home, I'm in the studio. If I'm at home, I've got earphones in, I'm writing, I'm always on them beats. So I don't necessarily engage like that on social media. right? So now to see people come out and vote in numbers and share and everything, that really really touched me, bro. And that's how I also like knew that whatever I do, it must have intent. Don't take it for
Yeah.
granted, because there are people that are watching. They may not say that they're watching you, but trust and believe they are watching you. So always try to, be intentional with whatever that you are doing, pure intent that is. And um my first audition song was Robert Mugabe at Sportscene. Yeah, that really set it off. And then I got to get on a plane, for the first time. Never traveled like that. And that's what I'm saying. Win or no win, bro. Like, if you know what I've been through, where I come from, to be seated on a plane, looking out the window, and you're seeing these clouds, I feel like I'm so close to God, you know, and I'm being jetted off to another province for music. That really hit me like, it's happening. Most people normally wait for to get signed, and you know it's happening. It's really happening right now. And shout out to Sports Scene, because when I got that side, I prepared myself. I had everything ready, and even though I didn't win, it's okay. It's really okay, because I got to see how other artists, carry themselves, how they perform, stage presence. Where can I work on my craft? What? And the only thing that I can fault myself, if we were to talk about, Aya, why didn't you win? Maybe let's say song selection. But I feel like Vans was really a good song.
I was looking for that song actually, but I couldn't find.
It's part of this project that I'm busy with before winter.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's I'm
why.
like checking like
That's why.
man can't find this man's music.
And that's the nice thing about that as well. By the time Vans dropped, most people would know about it, because I perform it so much, And that's how it's also like E and I test the music, just see the reaction. Do they like it? If they like it, okay, we can ride with it, because you can see because the people, though, the judges, the end of the day, bro.
But look here, when you're performing Vans, didn't you wear like Pumas or something?
Yeah,
I was like looking at the video, like, nah, man.
and I got old Puma on.
Away.
Puma. I even wanted to change the bar, just to like squeeze in a Puma thing there. But I was just like, hey, man, don't be cheesy, dude, don't be cheesy. It look like you're trying all means to win now. Just go out there, have fun, enjoy yourself. And I really, really, really did, bro. I had my lady there, my son was there, my brother was there at the Cape Town one auditions. And obviously that moment I mentioned off camera with Youngsta as well, Jerry, his manager, coming to me and be like, bro, this is all just child's play. Come to the what is it? The block. That's where real things will happen. We'll work something out for you. And it really touched me, because Youngster, like, when we were exchanging contact numbers, he said to me, bro, are you really gonna come? And I was like, yeah. And he said, are you sure? So that for me was like, okay, if he's doing it for the show, you're good at acting, right? But I kind of picked it up like, how you gonna ask me 2 or 3 times if I'm really really gonna come? Then maybe there's a little bit, something there in your fiber that actually wants me to pull up. So if I'm gonna pull up, it has to be right. It has to be blessed, because I don't wanna be exchanging energies, and then when I leave there, it's like it's as good as nothing. I want to be able to say, yo, Riyadh really held me down. I learned a lot from him, because I know Youngster from started in my DNA back in the days when, he was doing all that Good Hope sessions. And I always knew, bro, like, if I'm not gonna rap with him, we're gonna be in the same space. I've always like belief, just that sense of belief. I know it's gonna happen. I just can't tell you when, where, or how. But in the interim, I'm gonna stay practicing. I'm gonna stay writing. I'm gonna stay grooming myself. Hence, things like Sports Scene and them was not that hard for me, because I have been partaking in competitions.
Wait, there's the wait. What?
Ipotsoyi.
Yeah, there's that one. Explain me that. Go through that one and the. What is this?
OMGwap.
Oh wait.
Yeah,
Go through that.
So the Ipotsoyi was I can't remember the year though. I think it was 2017. Yeah, 2017 to 2018. So basically, they give guys like opening slots, before the national acts perform, and then they had auditions. I was the no. There was three of us from Kraaifontein. There was three of us, and it's very disappointing. Place that has so many rappers, only three pulled up. And of that three, only one made it, and that was me. But shout out to my brothers for partaking. Shout out to my brothers. They know who they are at the Ipotsoyi auditions. But I did it. I made it through. That day, K-Easy was going crazy. He was like, "Hey man, who you signed to? I'm finna sign you right now." And then the other homie, Oxguard, he was there and he was like, my name is also Ayanda. And he was like, show these people, man, how to motherfucking rap. Because I also knew I was there the whole day. I was watching all of these niggas do their thing. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was not impressed. And that's what I said. Those were my opening lines. I've watched all of you guys here. And I can safely say to you, I was not impressed. And the crowd just went crazy. Like, whoa, who the hell does he think he is talking like that? And I knew in the back of my mind, y'all gonna know. Because I'm gonna show you a thing or two about rap. And I performed a song called What You Know About Rap. So they asked me after my audition, bro, do that shit again before you step off the stage. Show these people what you know about rap. And I went again. So that was the crowning moment. I knew then already, like, man, I'm in, And then it also went through a voting system. And the people voted, my nigga. I couldn't believe it. Because I'm not that popular nigga that, I'm always out there. I'm here. Nah, I'm so reserved. I didn't think it would pan out. And it panned out. It panned out so perfectly. Getting on stage at the Ipotsoyi, that was my first big show ever. And it swallowed me, bro. The stage swallowed me because when I got on, it was so big. Like, I'm standing here on the edge and I'm looking that side and still like a far stretch to go that side.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking so much in my head while I'm busy rapping. Don't know how to connect with the people because there's so many of them in the open field. But sink or swim was all that I was going through my mind. And there's no ways I'm going to, sink. So I was like, I'm swimming this one. And when I got off stage, went to my brother and I was like, yo, bro. We've just been doing like small stages and small crowds. This is a big crowd and I almost didn't make it. But through the grace of God and consistency, it's like somebody while you're busy on stage and then somebody's running to you and then they bump you. Instead of attending to them, you continue, So as I was saying, learning, the stage.
Yeah.
And having been swallowed almost damn near by the stage.
That sounds crazy. Because you're saying you're being swallowed. That is that, man.
It taught me a lot, man. It taught me a lot. And that's why I can sit here with you comfortably and just be like, it's not as easy as it looks on paper. You sitting in your room, thinking about this, how you want to do it, how you want to attack the industry, and actually getting to the practical side, it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's too different. What you think and
when it's
there, you're like, oh,
it's completely two different ball games. But that's where I learned, okay, we need to be ready with the sound because when Youngsta them came on, you could feel the kick in your chest, bro. And then with mine, it was like it wasn't flat, but it wasn't as hard as their kicks were. So even sonically, we were learning. Even so, we went there from that show. The following day, we went to the studio to paint. And when we were there, we were like discussing everything that happened, the mistakes, the takeaways, the good vibes, the bad vibes. And that's why I'm so anal with this new project as well. You know what I mean? That I'm currently working on. But yeah, that's my experience of Ipotsoyi. And then you mentioned, what's up?
Is it anal?
Yes.
Look, yeah, some of the stuff I'm still a laugh because my mind.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I'm still a laugh.
Nah, it's so good, fam.
Okay. You said Omar?
You said it's OMGwap. So that was an old mutual competition.
Okay.
So basically, what they wanted was just like a submission of a video of you rapping, but you touching on financial literacy, right? And in a pool of, I'm not sure, probably like 2,000 people that took part, I made it into the top 6. And then unfortunately I didn't win. The guys that won, they were both from Johannesburg. So I don't know if it was like we're gonna have to fly him up here or what type of vibes. But I didn't win, and both of the guys from Joburg won. I took nothing like bad away from it because
Experience.
I didn't even think that I would make it that far, let alone top six. So it, like I said, it's a W. You know, all of these things, all of these competitions, win or lose, I walk away with a W. If it didn't go my way, what did you take away from it?
Mm.
That's the W in the in the loss, if I can put it like that. So OMGwap, Ipotsoyi, Pop Bottles, Filthy Entertainment launch, One Mic open slots, all these shows, battle ciphers in Kales River that I had, I believe they were all just molding me and shaping me to better understand myself as an artist and to also better understand my music.
You performed on Slikou's Spotlight as well.
Yeah. Oh man, that was crazy, the build up to that, because we came back from Joburg, so we in Cape Town, and you see what I say, like, this is something about Cape Town, the energy. For me personally, it's so pure. Good things generally take place, I guess. So I'm chilling.
I guess.
I'm chilling, and then my brother has been talking to this one lady who works at SlikouronLife, and then he's been sending her our music, and she really messes with it. That time it was 7570 Goat that we released, and a song called Killers in the Cape. So she messed with those records, and she was like, "Hey, do y'all think y'all can come down to Santon Ilovo?" And we were like, "Yo, gotta get back there. We just came back. And rest in peace to my brother's mother, his mom. She helped us out with the money to get back and do it. It was a very crazy experience. We touched down in Park Station, right? Looking at the time, damn, we need to be there. It's like an hour before this whole thing starts. And you must know, we don't know Joburg like that. Now go to the toilet to go change and prepare. Get into the toilet. It's just dirty. It smells. I open the door. There's like a whole lot of BS just sitting there. And I'm like, I'm not changing in here. I close the door, go outside. Now I'm in the open room in the toilet where the people can pee there. I'm not in the toilet now.
In the stalls, you're not in the
Yeah,
stalls.
I'm right there in the open plan vibes, bro. I take off my clothes, my pants that I had on, tracksuit pants. I put on the jean. I'm thinking, screw that. My brother does the same thing. Get an Uber, off we go. And then we get to Ilovo. Bear in mind, I got a suitcase, I got a bag here, and he's got a bag here as well. And he's rocking like this big jacket, Formula One jacket. It just looked like nomads, bro. Like it looked wrong. It didn't look like an up and coming
like
artist.
You were hiking from
Cape like bro. It looked so cheap and broke, bro. And to which we were, Get there, Slick. I didn't see Slick at the time. I get there and then they introduce us, and then I see Reason, like the rapper. He's sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, man, this is crazy because I mess with this man so much. Like Reason HD, crazy Reason time, bro. So I'm looking at this man like, yo, somebody that you admire is sitting right here. I didn't know how to behave. I just tried to keep it cool. I got all these bags, and I started speaking to him like, yo, Reason, what's up, man? I think I quoted a line from his raps just to show him like, yo, it's deep like that. And then the homie was like so warm in a sense of it wasn't weird or anything like that. Easy. I think he was also working, doing some shit there. And then I had to go do my spotlight recording now. I do my thing, I perform Robert Mugabe. After I'm done, Reason comes through. He's like, hey man, are you from Zim? And I'm like, nah, I'm not from Zim. And then another girl comes around from the other corner. She's like, are you from Zimbabwe? And I'm like, nah, it's a concept. Robert Mugabe doesn't mean I'm from there. But no, I'm not from there. And they were like messing with it, bro. And then I saw Slicker, leaving. Shook my hand, I shook his hand. And then I'm sure he had to go somewhere. And then he left, And we did the recording. And after the recording, we had to go back to go catch a taxi back home. So it wasn't like we had money to stay and sleep. No. In and out.
Strictly
literally.
work.
In and out.
Go.
And that's how I always got close to my brother. Because like I said, when we started this thing off, we weren't close at all. But now it's like he knows everything that I do. I know everything that he does. And build a relationship from staying solid, and it gets me, in my feels when you ask me these questions, talk to me about the spotlight feature, because not to say I forgot about it, but every time I talk about it, it brings back, emotions like,
Oh, yeah.
damn, we were down bad.
Um, wait. Now, coming from that, music you currently listen to.
Right now,
Yeah. What do you listen to?
Snow Allegra. Is it Snow Allegra?
Snow Allegra.
Snow Allegra, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm banging a lot of her these days. Um, who else is on my playlist? AKA that Mass Country. I'm not gonna flex.
I only like to be honest, there's only 3 songs. I think 3, 4 songs that I actually.
No, I don't know. Maybe because I know I'll never hear of him again. So now it's like that emotional attachment as well to the
You
project.
never know because remember there's AI.
Dude,
Yeah.
it won't feel the same, bro. It won't feel the same. For me, it won't feel the same. And you're right, but it's Snow, aka who else do I bang a lot? Funny enough, I listen to a lot of NBA YoungBoy, like, and in the beginning I couldn't understand like the sound, you know, but when I went back and I kept on going back and I kept on going back, I started understanding the slang. I started understanding the sound. And my young brother is into like a lot of Juice WRLD, so I'm starting like to also gravitate towards him. I'm open to listening to anything, but my default setting will always be like your Jay Z's, your Lil Wayne, definitely Lil Wayne at any given time of the day. Um, yeah, but Snow is the one that I'm like listening to the most right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Um, Another question. Oh yeah. Oh, do you feel like if you listen too much to other music that it influences your music and then you end up sounding like
Like that.
the music that you're
Listening
listening
to
to?
Yes and no. Yes, because in this current, state that I'm in, making a project, I know the sound that I want the project to have. So automatically I'm gonna be, you know, diverting towards that. If it's a trap soul sound, for example, I'm gonna be listening to the Bryson Tillers, the Tory Lanes and them, because I'm also trying to go into character. If like when an actor gets given a script and they say this is the Joker, so you need to go into that character. So that is why I listen to other music on that level, because I'm currently busy with the theme. Right now maybe it's a love project, it's a slow, so I can't be listening to Lil Durk, for example, and the homie's talking about whatever crazy stuff he's talking about, and then I want to go back to a mellow beat. It's not. So it's yes and no. It does influence, because, and the only time it will influence is if I'm in that bag as well. I'm trying to make something that's on that. Yeah.
Um, why have you been so quiet though on social media? Elaborate.
There came a time where when you wake up, the first thing that you do is go on your phone, and check if you got any what's the updates. Put it like that. And then I started feeling like, without even being aware, I'm becoming dependent on this thing, because when I would wake up in the morning, I would just, my phone is right here next to me, so just checking, and the stance I'm using is I'm checking any updates, but an hour will go by, or an hour and a half will go by, and I'm just randomly scrolling, and then I realize, hey, but this is not productive.
You wasted an hour.
You wasted an hour, so that was the first like flag that I picked up. And what I also, without even being aware, like I mentioned, you just take your phone randomly on random times, and then you leave Instagram, you closed Instagram, then you scroll through your phone, then you go on back onto Instagram. I was like, but I was just on here, nothing has changed in 5 minutes, if I can put it like that. So that's when I started seeing like, I'm not engaging the way I'm supposed to be using it. It's more like now my entertainment is based on scrolling and seeing, and I know myself that there's more to life than what
Staying on
staying on
screen.
it, and it's not real. It's not a real reflection of what's happening outside. So I stepped away because of that, and I was like, I think I need like just to detox myself, and it was super hard because the brain is so used to doing this. And then boom, 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 I started getting into project mode.
Mm.
Now it's like, okay, I walked away from this for like 2 years, and I told my brother as well, I'm not gonna be recording for a minute because I wanna clean myself up mentally, so that I can give people something worth listening to,
Mm.
because it would just feel like I'm doing and doing. And bear in mind, ever since I started rapping, for as long as I can remember, from what is this, youngest veteran, I've been putting out projects year after year. So I was just like, no, I'm gonna end up talking about the same things, just on a different beat. That's the only thing that's different. But the subject matter is the same. So I needed time to grow and take in new experiences, new memories. And I can safely say, bro, from hotel hopping, me and my girl, I told her that as well. Like, being an artist, I don't know how I'm gonna feel an hour from now. Inspiration might hit me, and I'd feel like, nah, or this place might feel like it's not the right energy for me. So I'm very much spiritually moved in terms of energy. So she knows, like, when we were putting together this thing, we would go from hotel to hotel to hotel to hotel. I'm looking for that energy, that that purity, and that's basically number one. We have been. It was just walking away from feeling like I'm depending, or I'm becoming too much dependent on this social media things, checking out other people's lives as if mine is perfect. You know what I mean? So I took a step away from that, and then the one that sealed it for me, where it's like, I don't want to go back now anytime soon. I first want to finish this project because I don't want distractions. Like that question that you asked me, is like, do you feel like what you listen to can somewhat influence what you create? I feel like what I read and what I take in can somewhat also influence what I create. So that is why I walked away, and I was like, nah, man. When I made all my other projects staying in my mama's house, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have these social media things. So everything that came from there was something that was like embedded inside of me, and it's been wanting to come out. Now, how sure am I that with, a programmed mindset, because that for me was like a young, subtle programming that I was under. How do you know that you're even touching on topics that are relevant, touching on topics that are relatable, or you just saying the same bunch of BS on a different beat, as I mentioned? That was the key one. I want to finish this project, and I want to finish it without any sort of influences or distractions.
And so tell us more about this project.
So for now, the name is Before Winter. Quick backstory. Winter is my son's name. So all of these songs that I have were songs that were created before him, in its literal sense, before Winter. And I I feel like it's not the sound that people are gonna be expecting in, trappy. There will be trap songs, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to cater for everyone. But I'm trying to make a well, blended project, bro. If Weezo's listening to it and you wanna pop in a song for you and your lady to listen to, there has to be a track there. Even if it's one, there has to be. If you're on the road and you want to get your energy up, I got you with Vans. If you want to be reflective and you want to think about your ex who broke up with you, I have you there with No Need. I'm trying to make a pocket for stuff that we know we go through on a daily basis: heartbreaks, challenges, reflecting, appreciating, gratitude, as they say. So it took a while to even come to this whole thing of Before Winter. My brother gave me that. He was like, yo, why don't you name it Before Winter? Because we've always been looking to do this, and we were looking to drop it before winter. But now obviously we are in winter.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to him, like, there's a lot of, ways we can play around with it. The literal sense, before winter, and you can also go figuratively. It still works. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It still works. So with this one, I don't particularly have a theme like I do with all my other ones. A person would say, it's probably about his son because, the name is there. No, it's everything that has happened before up until now. You know what I mean? And most importantly, before winter came into the picture. This is the type of mind frame that I was in, the first half of the project, and the second half will also give you like, this is where we at right now. And the producers I'm working with right now there, it's Lal. Obviously Lal is on Vans. Gotta put Lal on Vans. I got Manny Manhattan as well from the States. I love working with him. He's got very, very nice beats. you know. And who else is on there? It's Manny, it's Lal, Shibit. This is where I need E because he's the he's the guy that knows most
How
of
many
these
songs
people.
though?
We're looking to go for 8 or 9 songs. I don't want to make a too long project because Dreams of Plenty was 18 songs. Um, V2 was 9 songs. Ape Town was like 11 or 12 songs. So I wanted it to be 6 initially, EP length, 30 minutes, under 30 minutes. But then I told him, let's just make music, you know. Even the whole thing of trying to chase that deadline of before winter, we might get it, but are we gonna get a solid project, you know? Something that says, okay, he has been away for 2 years. You can hear, you know, from the sound to the content, you can actually hear that this guy has grown. Not he was trying to make a summer, you know, cut in terms of I released it before the summer, so now I can try and get summer gigs. No, I believe if you really, really take your time and you work on it the way you're supposed to work on it, the people will definitely pick up on it. And that's, I think, the stage that I'm on now is like, I want to finesse it. Yeah, I want to finesse it. We have scored, we've been scoring, but now let's try to put it in such a way where it looks beautiful from the shot till the placement. That's before winter.
I feel like it's also how you're gonna promote it.
Yes.
If it's gonna be a success.
Yes. You can say that again because most cases, good projects don't go anywhere because you're relying on the thing of, I know it's a dope body of work. So now you need to take it out to them. You need to take it out to them.
Because like a lot of people just post it on wherever and then put a link there. Klar.
And that's exactly why I also said I lost like my young inspiration for music at the time, because I felt like I was doing that, you know. I record, and then when I'm done recording, I have to put it out there. And the one thing that irks me the most is having to beg you to go listen, if I can put it like that. And then people will say, no, I'm gonna listen. Or some of them will say, I listened to it. And then you're like, did you really listen to it? But you're just saying it to make me feel better, you know. So I got tired of that, you know. I got tired of that when now I'm making music because number one, I want to. I'm enjoying it again. And that is what I always used to say to people. The moment I start, like, I feel like I'm not having fun, I'm gonna walk away from it because I don't want to put myself, you know, or overburden myself, man.
Okay, wait. Project, how many songs? We more or less have how many producers? Nah, but like, look at when is it dropping though?
I'm looking for October, bro. That's the one thing that I told me. I'm looking to put it. I should be done even way before October.
October, like beginning of October.
Beginning, definitely beginning of October. If we can push even for like month end of September, so that when we get into October, November, you just literally, like you said, you're marketing the hell out of it. But latest is the beginning of October.
Okay.
Latest, definitely. I can put it out on record and say latest is the beginning of October.
And we'll definitely be listening to it, yeah, because he'll be here next time
For
to
sure.
promote
the
the what's the name? The project.
I got to be. It will change. It can be before winter. It can be after summer. the titles will change. I'm telling you, because what I mean by that is, I know my brother and I know myself. You know, we might today, yeah, this is it, and then tomorrow you find something, because he will call me like at 2 a.m. and say, watch this. Or I'll call him at 4 a.m. or send him a clip in the morning, in whatever time of the morning. Listen to this. Can this be used as an intro? Can we use this as a skit? You know, I love creating. It's very draining as well, but it's a very beautiful, you know, process to see something come from an idea to actually bringing it to a product.
And we also might have it playing first here. Whatever he has on the table, we'll have it here.
Definitely. I'm gonna send you, bro.
Oh wait. I would definitely want to listen to it beforehand.
Please.
Definitely. The other thing is, are the beats from scratch? And also, is there writer's block? Even though you said you don't write,
yeah,
but I mean,
you do get writer's block, even if you don't write. My fear is with people that don't write and they say they don't write or experience writer's block. That means means you're rapping about a bunch of nothing. You know what I mean? That for me is what I take away from it. But writer's block, I do experience it, but I feel like it mostly comes from being uninspired. You know, when the game is not exciting, or there's nothing that you heard that makes you feel like, whoa, you know, that's when the writer's block will come about. You know what I mean? And also, if I don't go through a lot of things, like if my life is boring, I'm just sitting watching TV, I don't experience a lot of things, so I don't have much to talk about. But if I'm around Weezo and his lady, and I see how you guys, you know, treat each other and engage, that might give me a concept, like around love now, that is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's how I treat writer's block. If I do feel it creeping up, try to always watch content, read. I love reading. There's no substitute for that, I believe. So that's where you get to play with your brain. You know, you're moving it through this maze and you're trying to get to the other place. What was the other question now again?
Beats from scratch.
Beats from scratch. Dave Beats is also a producer. This came to my mind now as well. He makes like his beats from scratch. He does sampling and all of that as well. There are a few songs that are sampled. I think it's three songs that are sampled, but the majority of them, it's all from scratch. Yeah.
I love it. I love songs that's from scratch.
No.
I don't like
Yeah.
this sampling every song and then, because at the end of the day, if you think about the international artists, when
Correct.
they sample,
Yeah.
you're paying for that.
Yes.
So why not make a song from
yes.
scratch? Then you don't have
to pay.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to pay, and that is actually what we should be encouraging, to be honest, because that's real creativity. That for me, that's real creativity.
I feel the same. Okay.
If I can sample, I will also sample, because it's not to say it's not creative, but I also feel like with a sample, you might not necessarily go wrong. Like the song might just be deemed as a hit off the bat, just purely based off the sample that you chopped up.
But I feel like also, like, if you take a sample, you could be taking like a sample that's known, so people are gonna like, oh, can I remember the song?
That's where I'm getting at.
Yeah,
This is exactly what I'm getting at.
I feel like I love the whole sitting there going through synths, tuning it, fine tuning it, put some reverb on it, listen to it, like that whole process of narrating the sound.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I feel you, and I also agree with you, bro.
That can take like hours.
80
Laat me different kicks.
It's tedious. It's a tedious amount of work. I know it, but definitely cooking up over sampling, bro. For so many reasons, as you mentioned as well.
Oh, yeah. This is like, it's the same with me, like writing, like it's a whole journey, man.
Correct.
It's a whole journey when you're writing, because like because I remember like once I said one song like 2 months.
You see?
2 months. I couldn't like.
You see?
I just left it like first verse, couldn't finish.
And I get that from times as well, where I'll be writing a track and I have like a fire first verse. And then, shit, but I forgot about there's still a second verse in the song. And in your mind is like, yo, but I feel like I should just leave it here with the first verse, you know what I mean? Because, and then that's where I would either like leave it, like you said, for a couple of days or weeks, and I come back to it, see if I have anything new to say or fresh to say, or try and reach out to, you know, a writer, a co-writer, or somebody who you collaborate with. Sammy's like a guy who like, I collaborate a lot with him. It's not to say like, oh, he's writing my songs for me. Hell no.
Ghost.
But nah.
I was gonna ask that.
Nah. It's more of like, he's helping me with the concept.
Okay.
If I'm struggling with penning verse 2, he will say, let's listen, for example, to verse 1. Let's hear what you're touching on. What are you speaking on? Okay, I think we should make verse 2 like this. Now it becomes almost like a movie script, you know, instead of a song. And I love the way, you know, he has taught me how to think, and E as well. Take yourself outside the box. You don't necessarily have to be going through the situation to be able to write about it. You can just write from other people's experiences.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What else did I want to ask now? I had something now, but then I was still listening and
it flew away. I get that, yo. I get that so much times, bro. I get that so much. My girl and my brother be looking at me like, is it gone? I tell them it's gone, bro.
Especially, I feel like also when you have so many ideas,
Yeah.
you have to write it down or vocal it on a recording, because otherwise,
no ways you're gonna remember it. Like you said, you have so many other ideas wanting to also come to the front. You know what I mean? Pen it down so that you don't forget it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now it's coming back. Um, do we expect the visuals?
Yeah, definitely, because that's the one thing that intentionally I was not shooting any videos for, because I don't want to shoot videos that everybody has been shooting.
And it is like songs that you have in mind that you
Definitely,
wanna do.
yes,
Okay.
from this new project,
Okay.
and funny enough, from the old project as well. Like my brother specifically, he messes with a lot of songs from V2 and Ape Town that he felt like, yo, this deserved, it still deserves visuals,
Mm.
but I want to be more present in terms of the visual game.
Mm.
I want to be more present. And at the beginning, I always wanted people to know my music, to mess with my music, and I feel like they know the music. You know what I mean? Now people feed more on visuals now. Instead of you giving them a song, a link to a song, they'll probably go listen to the song more if it's backed by a video.
Mm.
So definitely getting on the visual steez, 110%.
And obviously pushing on social media,
Yeah.
TikTok and
Now you
everywhere and going crazy.
And another thing is about that, apart from trying to clear your mind and get your mental state right, I also believe you need to have a good product. I can't be on social media every day and I'm posting, but there's no music. You'll end up looking like I don't know, a model, a Facebook model instead of a musician. So if I don't have anything, I won't say anything.
Mm.
If I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have anything, I won't say anything. Then
Oh,
you,
yeah.
then you end up feeling like when you drop, like you feel like the new kid on the block again. And finding out like I've been here, man. It's just that I've been in the background working
Mm.
on myself. You can never lose when you build yourself, man.
Facts on facts.
Straight up.
Facts. Wait. I think I covered everything.
Respect.
Oh no, wait. Do you watch football?
Yeah, I watch.
Okay, wait.
football.
Who's your team?
Man, you.
Bro, it's looking bad for you guys, though. But anyway,
I know, bro. You don't tell me you mess with football.
yeah, Arsenal. We out here.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say like you look like a Liverpool
Nah,
supporter, bro.
Nah, Liverpool. Then it would be awkward because you guys lost 7-0.
Oh, so you had to squeeze that in there. Hey man, like the boys are training right now, man. Summer break, but we out here, bro.
Oh wait.
We out here. We're gonna be good.
I just had to ask. Okay, wait, and like locally, do you support locally football?
Yeah. I don't have a choice. You know when you're born into a team. My dad, Kaizer Chiefs. The whole family vibes. But Mamelodi Sundowns is my team of choice.
Oh wait, nah. That's my okay. I would say that's my team
Mm,
in the PSL.
yes.
But okay, maybe I'll go for like Cape Town Spurs or so. Or Ajax Cape Town.
You know what I mean? Just to keep it local as well,
Oh,
Cape
wait.
Town City. And
Nah, not Cape Town City. Cape Town Spurs, my bro.
are they Cape Town Spurs now?
Yeah.
Wow. So they changed it.
Yeah, it was Ajax Cape Town and then it went to Cape Town Spurs. Cape Town City, if I'm correct now, the one of the founders
Yeah.
or person who had shares still in the place sold his shares and started Cape Town City. Because they only came about officially like 2016.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So it's all like under one umbrella type of vibes.
You can, yeah.
I like that.
Okay, so
Arsenal,
that's the
man.
whole. Okay, bro, we didn't kill him, bro.
Yeah,
We didn't kill him, bro.
okay, I give it to y'all, bro. At least take something. You know what I mean?
And at least we have like one football club like in common here, PSL Sundowns.
Nice, nice.
Okay, Sundowns. Oh, and you said obviously now.
Kaizer Chiefs, but
But that you born
you're
into.
born, yeah.
you're
You
born
know, you
into.
don't have a choice. You inherited that one, man.
Anything else from your side?
From my side,
Because
in
I'm
closing,
like
I would say to the youngsters out there, specifically the guys, protect yourself, man. Protect your energy. Your mental health, especially. People don't speak about that a lot, so always take time out for yourself. Always check on yourself, and don't rely on people to be checking on you, because then you're gonna neglect yourself. And if you trying to do this music thing, and make a career out of it, I encourage you to also understand the business side of things. That's gonna help you a lot, as opposed to just like making music and rapping and rapping and rapping, it's gonna give you depth. It's gonna help you.
And where can people find you? Except your actual location, I mean, like like socials, like
Yeah, like obviously WhatsApp, like, but that's a personal platform. If you
unless you want the people to
yeah,
message you on WhatsApp.
if I'm good with you like that, then you can hit me up on the WhatsApp. But for general inquiries and just reaching out, you can reach me out on Facebook, Ayanda King on the page, or you can say Ayanda Sisusa on my personal page, or you can also reach out to at Ayanda King Sisusa on Twitter, and also on Instagram. It's the same thing. So yeah, man, like
Instagram, Facebook. Oh, so you don't do the TikTok thing?
I actually have TikTok, but I don't have it on my phone. Hence, it also slipped up my mind. But it's also Ayanda King there as well.
Okay.
But like you said, man, I need to obviously get back out there, but I also felt like I wouldn't want to be out there and it's not the best version of me. Man, like you said, you're gonna end up becoming negative. You end up spreading negative narratives, and that's not how we want to do things. We want to inspire kids. You want to teach them about good. Stay in school. Get educated, especially for the musicians, man, because we're seeing a lot of our fellow artists dying broke, dying poor, signing bad deals. So always try to find a way of educating yourself. YouTube is like the new encyclopedia. You can find anything there if you know how to search properly. But in a nutshell, in closing, Weezo, just always protect your mental health and always try to acquire as much knowledge as you can.
Advice given, last thoughts. Nothing else.
Nah, nothing else.
I didn't forget anything or... Nah, did I cover everything?
That was a beautiful one, man.
Oh, wait.
It was really a beautiful one.
I didn't even... The time just went... Yeah. Guys, that is the end of the show. But he'll be back, He'll be back.
Definitely.
We'll have him back here.
Definitely.
Talk about a project, play some songs.
Young
exclusive.
Session. Yeah, like a young listening session.
Away. Thank you once again for coming through.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it so much. We have each other's iMessage, so it's not gonna be like where you message me and I never get that. Away.
Nah, but shout out to you. Firstly, allow me to say that, and the team KFKulture. I really, really appreciate the moment, man, for having me, accepting me into your space, and just letting me chop up game with you.
We only bring fire to the studio.
You know what I mean?
You
know what I mean? If you're not a hyena, don't come. Don't even step in here.
Don't come in. Thank you very much, guys, for listening. Also, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Also, drop a comment down below what you think. And audio episodes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And yeah, that's basically it. Also, guys, don't forget, promote yourself like you are your biggest fan. Safe.
Facts. Peace out.